Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Welcome back from Fox News. Lieutenant Governor on officials rejecting CRT-laced textbooks. Parents should be breathing a sigh of relief. Florida rejects 41% of math textbooks for including critical race theory, most aimed at K-5 students. Think about that for a minute. This isn't a social studies book, history book, even for high school sociology, anything like that at all. This is for K-5 students mostly, math textbooks. What the hell does math have to do with racist and racism? People are nuts, but you're going to see an example coming up here. So don't turn off the video of one of the examples in the book. You're going to go, what? Anyway, let's read on. Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez said Monday parents should be breathing a sigh of relief after officials rejected public school textbooks for including critical race theory. What a novel concept to make sure kids aren't indoctrinated. This is a very transparent, open process, Nunez told Fox and Friends. It was done by the Department of Education with lots of individuals that are former teachers and administrators, reviewing textbooks to make sure they not have these types of philosophies and ideologies that are harmful to our children. Let's get down the nuts and bolts of it, and then I'll show you one of the examples. You're not gonna believe it. CRT is an acronym for critical race theory. Theory. It is a theory, in this case, United States, that its government, its culture, everything about it is seated in foundation in racism. Period. Every level of government, whether it be city, county, state, federal, almost every law, even tax code, and individuals are all about racism. Now, you ask anybody that's a big CRT fan, and even though it is a theory, name one state or federal law, even a local one for that matter, that specifically discriminates against someone that's non-white. Show one. Oh, you might find one that's on the books from like 1850 somewhere. They just haven't taken off. That's fine. You want to get rid of it. Nobody. It's like, you can't spit while you're flicking your buggy whip or something. Those stupid laws. You can't find any. So it's not specifically in the laws. It's deeply embedded into the government and the founding of this country. And every white person is responsible for it. That's in essence what it comes down to. It's a theory. Now, in the early 1900s, at every major university, I mean major universities, by hundreds if not thousands of professors, it was taught as a class. It was a theory in the early 1900s. And that's not exactly the Stone Age, folks. They had cars, they had microscopes, they had pretty much a lot of the things we have now, except the technology, the radio, the TV, internet. They weren't cavemen by any days, but they were highly educated people. Highly educated. All Democrats, I might add. Just ring a bell. Highly educated Democrats. And they taught as a theory eugenics, founded in part by Margaret Sanger, one of the founders of Planned Parenthood. Eugenics was taught in every single major university, not just as a side course. You had to stand in line to get into the course. Dozens, if not hundreds of books were written on it. Tons of academic papers. Tons. It was the theory du jour, all put together by Democrats. CRT, in a weird way, is a modern version of eugenics. You're saying, well, John, CRT doesn't want to kill or have non-white people not be born. No. We're talking about the racism part of it. The fundamental part of it is still there. And it's Democrats again. Just to give you an idea, here's an example of a question in a math textbook in Florida in a book that was rejected. And here you go. Here's the question. Former racist cop John Matheson is in prison for shooting an unarmed black man. Make sure you got to put the unarmed in there, right? His sentence was 10 years. Didn't say he killed the individual, just shot him. He has served 2 years. How many years in prison does John Matheson have left? So that's 2 minus 10, of course, is 8. But here's the bonus question. If John had shot a white person, would his sentence have been more, less, or equal to what John got for killing the black man? And that, folks, is CRT in mathematics. Does that teach mathematics? Technically, yes. Obviously, it's very low elementary grade. 10 minus 2 is 8. But that's what they do. And this is what we're talking about. And there's tens of thousands of other examples. And they're in textbooks everywhere. Get your kids' textbooks out and look through them very carefully, moms and dads, and grandparents as well. Look for this nonsense. This is what's sneaking in our schools. Florida's Department of Education rejected 41% of mathematics textbooks submitted for use in the state's public schools Friday, citing critical race theory and other issues with the text. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis has led a push to reform education standards and practices in the state. Florida called for textbook submissions from publishers in 2021 in accordance with a 2019 executive order from DeSantis aimed at eliminating Common Core standards in the state. That Common Core is a real beauty. We had it here, too. The textbooks rejected were impermissible with either Florida's new standards or contain prohibited topics. The 41% rejection rate was the highest in Florida history. Yeah. And if you're on the other side of the aisle, yeah. It seems some publishers attempted to slap a coat of paint on an old house built on the foundation of Common Core. Racism and indoctrinating concepts like race essentialism, especially bizarrely for elementary school students. It's not bizarre. It's by design because their minds are the most malleable. They're the most, they're like clay. They're just small kids. It's like an empty computer. You can put whatever you want in it. DeSantis said in a statement accompanying the announcement, I'm grateful that Commissioner Cochran and his team at the department have conducted such a thorough vetting of the textbooks to ensure they comply with the law. And it shows a picture there, Lieutenant Governor on Fox and Friends. And if you're shocked by that math example, don't be. That is very, very common. So those of you that say, you know, John, they're just teaching non-racism courses, that's bullshit. That's complete and utter bullshit. To teach small children of any color, of any race, of any religion, that they're automatically up against it because they're not white. And to teach all small white kids that, you know what? It's not you. It might not even be your parents, but it's your white ancestors that did all these horrible things. And I hope you feel bad of what's happened, your relatives did in ancient history for them. I mean, 2 years is ancient for a little kid. It's just ridiculous. And to tell every small black kid or non-white kid, this whole system was up against you. So no matter how hard you try, you'll never reach your full potential. What a great freaking idea to tell a little kid you have no shot at making it in the path you choose to take. and then telling the rest of the kids it's your fault they're not making it, causing divisions, causing racial tension, racial friction. And then they tell the white kids, well, it's because of the system. And you need to tear down the system in order to equalize everything. Equity. Equity. All equity means everybody's equally as poor. It's ridiculous. Ask any college student about equity and ask him this question. And I'll leave you with this thought. Go to a college, anybody you know is in a major university, and talk about equity, and they'll say they're all for it. They'll tell them, we're going to take your class, your graduating class, or whatever course you're taking, we'll say in this case mathematics in college, and we're going to take everybody's grade point average and divide it by the number of people, get an average, say you have 28 in the class. We're going to put all those grade point averages together, divide by 28, and come out with one number. And that's the grade everybody's going to get. And the kids that study, the kids who do better are going to have a fit. And you say to them, welcome to equity. It's unfair that people don't work as hard as you, get the same as you. Maybe, just maybe then, the light bulb will go off. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.